Hey everybody, Stephanie McPhail, Chair and Dream Coach here. Just was doing a lot of thinking lately, of course, doing these videos and thinking about things. And if you've heard of this guy named Tony Robbins, pretty popular guru when it comes to coaching and living your life to your dreams and all that kind of stuff. If you've ever seen the movie I Am Not Your Guru, I highly recommend it. But there's an episode in there that really comes to light for a lot of issues, and one in particular that really resonates with me, and I wanted to share it with you, especially after talking about all these things of the past. And basically in the movie, he talks to a girl about her past with her father, and she was very angry at her father. She had a very bad relationship with him, and he treated her not very badly. He was an alcoholic and just not exactly the best of fathers. And she was the strong, independent woman. And Tony said to her, well, you need to thank him. And she was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, well, you would not be who you are if it was not for those experiences with him as your father. So you need to leave here today and you need to call him and you need to thank him for everything. Thank him for the good things, thank him for the bad things, because all those things were lessons that brought you to where you are. So the reason why that spoke to me so much is because of where I am in my life now and where I have been in the past. I don't live there at all. I can look at those memories, I can look at those things, and I am in such a far different place. I don't think back and say, I wish those things didn't happen to me. I am glad that they're over, some of them. Some different family issues might still be around, but they're there, and they've made me who I am. So instead of sitting around and saying, I wish I had a different family, or I wish I would have made different decisions when I was younger, or I wish I hadn't gotten into this relationship, or I wish I would have left sooner, or whatever that you could possibly come up with of what ifs, or I shouldn't have, or whatever. All of those things are part of you. And they're wonderful parts of you. And they're wonderful lessons if you allow them to be lessons. The biggest thing is not staying stuck there. I can talk about those things. I can talk about the past because I am in such a good place and I don't think about those things all the time. And I'm actually grateful that I was able to experience those things because I am able to empathize and I'm able to give back. I know people that have not forgiven themselves for not tying up loose ends with family members who have passed away because they were holding on to anger, or people that are still living with something terrible that happened to them years ago and they never got closure for it. They never forgave themselves for whatever happened. They never had closure for whatever happened with somebody else. Whatever the situation was, they never got to grow from those experiences. And what I've noticed is that when you don't deal with something, it keeps happening. It keeps perpetuating. The universe, or God, or whatever you want to call it, gives us the lessons, and if we get it, then we move on. It's like, do not pass go, do not collect $200. If you don't get the lesson, you're going to keep living it over and over again. So if you've noticed that you had several relationships that were all just with really terrible people, start thinking of the lessons that were there. What were the things that you could do differently to not put yourself in that situation again? How are you with family members? Can you thank them for the things that you learned from them? I know I have a particularly difficult family member, and I was able to send a letter thanking them for everything. And I really had nothing bad to say. It was really just thanking them for me being me and all of the wonderful lessons that I got out of that. It's not easy all the time, and there's some people that you don't really want to cut out of your life, but it's a wonderful experience, and I really recommend to get closure for whatever it is that you need to get closure. Learn from your mistakes. Again, listen to that gut. Realize that there are lessons for you to learn through life, and then you move forward. So you don't want to stay stuck. You want to move forward. You want to move up. You want to keep becoming, because if you're not becoming, you're staying stagnant, and then you're actually regressing. Because if you are shown something and you don't change that, knowing that it's making you unhappy, that it's actually bringing you down and bringing you back. So take all those lessons, learn all those wonderful things that life is showing you, and just keep remembering that you really are much stronger than you realize.